Yeah. Oh. Hi guys, welcome back to Museroom Unscripted. This is episode 5 and today we have MFMF with us. We have Zen, we have Brandon and also Justin with us. Welcome guys.
What's up?
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah. So I think we just wanted to get to know you guys a bit better. And also talk about what is not really talked about in the music industry. That's why, hence the name Unscripted.
Okay.
Because we feel like everything is so like filtered nowadays, and that's why we're here to like try to break that barrier.
Spill some tea. Yes, that's what she's trying
Yeah.
to get at, you know.
Actually, we didn't even get a list of questions.
So it's just wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure 2020 has been really hard for all of us.
Yeah.
But also it has been like a great year for discovery as well for some. So, but
Yes.
how has it been for you guys?
You take that?
I think 2020, was sort of like a blessing for us
Yeah.
because that's where MFMF really came to life, I would say. Like we
Took off,
actually,
took off.
we actually took off in 2020.
Yeah.
I think we have two of in the Malay music industry. We have two of the biggest hits in Malaysia. So we were very grateful for that, and most of them were birthed out of like the first MCO.
Yeah, actually the songs were actually both done during COVID actually.
Yeah.
The first
Wow.
MCO. So everything was we recorded before, then everything the promo was planned during COVID. And then
Yeah.
during the MCO.
That's
CMCO,
Pelang Kedua, but not cute.
Yeah. So Pelang Kedua was like our first big Malay ballad that we wrote for Nabila Razali.
Right.
And Cute was actually part of our artist project, and also with Harif, who's the original writer of the song.
Yeah.
So, and that also blew up. So yeah, I think 2020
It's been great.
treated us well.
That's really good. But also, going back to your song "Cute," right?
Yeah.
I think it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was like he wrote the song halfway and you guys spotted him and you guys. How did that happen?
I think
quite-
it was MCO. I think during the first MCO, everyone was kind of like clueless as to, okay, what now, right? So, but we tried our best to continue work in the online sphere. It was quite a big struggle. And of course, when you work online, there's always this lag, right? So when it's just lag, I'll just play TikTok, you know? Yeah, and I was a new TikTok user then as well, so it was very, very exciting for me. And then I stumbled onto this guy that was playing a ukulele. And I was like, yo, this guy, like, this original song that he wrote was quite catchy, you know, and then I showed them. I was like, hey, what if we just like ask him to do a song? There's not. I mean, we're not doing anything.
Nothing to
Yeah.
do, doing
Yeah.
No, we were doing a lot of memes.
We were doing a lot of memes.
We made memes out of the Prime Minister's speech and all that. So,
Yeah, kesana kesini.
Yeah.
We did that first.
Yeah.
So then that happened. Then we were doing that for a while. But even during MCO, we still kept up our schedule as much as we can.
Yeah, we tried to lah.
Yeah.
But then I think the idea was like, hey, let's just text him because I'm sure he's not doing anything, you know, in COVID. And what's there to lose? I guess that was the mentality, and it was like a fun experiment for us because I don't think anyone in Malaysia has done it this way before, where we go onto TikTok to A&R. A&R meaning like look for talents, you know, and then like because the ideology is this like that song is already trending on TikTok. It's already viral.
Yeah.
So that way half my marketing is already done. Right?
Yeah.
So for me it's like, okay, the marketing is done, why not I just take it, complete it and then put it out. Right? That's so much better than like trying to write an original and trying to make it pop, you know, that's like twice the effort.
Starting from scratch. Yeah.
So I guess that was the whole experiment, and thankfully it did very well.
And honestly, we didn't know it would do well as well. We thought like we told each other, be like, if this flops, then it flops lah. You know what I mean?
No, we told him. Okay, so it was very awkward because can you imagine like you meeting someone new like online, right? And you had it on Discord too, and then like it was just like this awkward barrier. And then we were talking to him, and then it was like. Then he kept saying like, I'm not a singer, you know, I did that for fun, you know. And then we were like, yo bro, don't worry, like we can help you with the singing part. But look, if it's really bad, we'll just delete it and no one has to hear it.
Yeah.
So I think when we said that, he took comfort in that and it's like, okay,
no pressure. Just come in, record lah. We
That's
try
super
lah.
like this one.
Yeah, I mean we try to complete it as much as we can, and in the best way possible.
Yeah,
with
but it was
him.
so hard because like he had no knowledge of like using an interface and recording at home, and it's noisy, you know. So it was quite a struggle lah. But thankfully we did the best we could with the arrangement. Once it went to RMCO, then we got him into the studio to properly record him and put the song out.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
So that's the story, I guess.
Yeah.
The rest is
The
history.
TLDR version.
Yeah.
Okay, I think also if you guys could tell us what MFMF is in more depth as well, that would be great.
So MFMF is primarily a music production / writing company. Our artist project is actually sort of like a subdivision. And the artist project is essentially a huge marketing tool.
Sales funnel.
Yeah,
Sales funnel.
because it's always a struggle when you go into a meeting with a client and you have to explain who you are, what you do, and basically do a sales pitch at the first 5 minutes. I would rather go into the room with them already knowing what we're about, already know what to expect, and then we can just get the conversation going. Yeah. So yeah, the artist project is essentially a huge marketing funnel for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are like some of the worst artist experiences you've encountered from that?
Worst artist experience.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah. You got enough SD card? Can't name names, but there are some artists who come in and I mean it just I guess it's a difficult session because they are very reluctant to try new things. You know, they just want to stick to what they're used to. But I guess when they came to us, they wanted something different, or they wanted our sound. So it's kind of a contradiction when you say you want something fresh, you want to try something new, but then you're reluctant to try.
Right.
So I think that was the struggle. But I think how we approached this was we sort of like empathize with the artist, because you know I kind of knew that there was something that artist wasn't letting on. You know. So I think it all stemmed from like insecurities with trying something new and the constant social pressure of people like I guess scrutinizing every move that artist makes. So it creates this like barrier or like self-defense mechanism, you know. So like I only stay in my lane, Yeah, so I think so those are a little bit more challenging sessions, but I think all in all, after we have gone through the whole process and them getting more comfortable with us, I think the project
Best friend.
suddenly we are like their best friend.
No, but
Synergy.
usually that's the problem, right? Most of the time it's because their insecurities. Because of the insecurity, they project it on us. Then somehow we kind of manage to weave through, because in the end, as producers, right, what our job is to bring the artists'
the true potential
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
artists to life.
or whatever they imagine, bring it to life, So and also try to bring them there together, make sure they get it there right. So I think once we break through the insecurity, understand why are they insecure in the first place, then they generally do warm up.
To be honest, it kind of always feels like a therapy session for artists and us as well, because whenever you write, you're kind of like vulnerable, right? You have to put the emotions on the line, and because it translates in the songs that you write. So so we have to sort of like break down all the walls and barriers to get to the root of it and then really explore. So that's why I say it feels like a bit like therapy session, and then in the end, from like being hostile, we are suddenly like safe space.
No, usually when you do one song already, then you become good friends already. Because of the
connection.
The art that you make together. Then you just feel so connected already.
But it's also because we are not emotional people.
That's
Plus also I think
get the job done. Okay. The thing is, we three of us, we are very we have a hive mind. So all of us look at each other and we just want to get this thing done, no matter what it takes. So even though it's shit, 4 a.m. Just take it. Just, hope that it's worth it.
Because it's bigger than us. It's like, for us, we don't let our personal ego get in the way, and we all know what our final end goal is. If it's to complete the song, let's complete the song. Even though I don't like your ideas.
That hurts, man.
But I mean, you guys also do more of like the Malay market, or also more of the urban English?
I think in 2020, I would say if I'm going to put a ratio to it, 60-40, 65.
I feel like 70 to 30.
But you're discounting all the other writing stuff that we do.
Oh, okay, all the Korean stuff.
All the Korean stuff and all that. So a lot of people, I guess, a lot of people know us from the stuff that we put out in the Malay music industry because that gets the most eyeballs locally. But we actually have writing credits for like Vietnamese songs. We're doing a lot of K-pop now. Yeah, so those are more like behind the scenes stuff that you don't really hear about, I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to everyone, mostly Malay lah. So
Yeah.
I think we get a lot of jobs from the Malay market.
Yeah.
In general, because of those two songs. So everybody is like, oh,
Yeah,
you know,
I
want
think
something
especially after those two songs and our recent is AJL nomination. Yeah, and then that really put us on the map, and then all the record labels are starting to like calling us up to get some songs. Yeah.
So that means normally the labels will call you to. How does it work? Like the whole process of it with the artist?
It depends. Sometimes it's the label A&R that gets in touch with us. I mean, we already have, I guess, a working relationship with most of the major labels over here. So, you know, we're just a WhatsApp away. Sometimes it's the artist himself that DMs us on Instagram asking for a session. Sometimes it's their management that gets in touch with us. So many forms. But it's safe to say that most of them DM us, right?
Yeah. They're like, hey, when
More
can we come?
casual.
Yeah, it's super casual.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
it's quite interesting.
But you guys have been in the industry for so long as well as individuals.
Yeah.
Was it always a full-time thing, or was it first part-time and now full-time?
I think both of your stories.
Okay, so I used to be a tax consultant at PricewaterhouseCoopers. So for like,
That's the same reaction.
Okay, no, and before that I was in EY as well. So I had a corporate life for maybe about 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So then after that, he was in construction.
I was a civil engineer.
Civil engineer.
Wow.
5 years.
5 years. So we had the EDM DJ duo thing going on for a while called Spuds.
Yeah.
Then one day we decided, you know, if we want to do this full time, I mean, make this as a thing, so we have to quit our jobs. Because we felt that it was either now or never.
No.
Yeah.
So when we decided to take a leap of faith and just quit, so we just did music full time really with the amount of savings we have.
Thankfully, it turned out okay.
Yeah, thankfully it turned out okay. Yeah. So I mean, after quitting our jobs for about 1 or 2 years, then you know, about 1 year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, end of 2018, then we met him.
9 months.
Yeah. So it's pretty quick. Yeah. So then 8-9 months, then we met him. So we decided to form MFMF. So that was
Actually, they were quite crazy because when I first came in, I wasn't supposed to be part of MFMF. Right? I was hired actually as a consultant because I have like years of experience, maybe 8-9 years professionally. Managing, being a writer, music producer. I also did a lot of management. I did content creation as well. So I kind of know like the lay of the land. Quite well in the music industry, and I knew how to turn music profitable. So I guess that was my selling point to them. So when they got me, I think they were just looking to make it work because they knew how to do the music, but they weren't sure about the admin side, you know, the business side. So that's where I came in. But I think the first question I asked you, I was like, why the hell did you leave your job? Right?
I was like, you crazy
I told them like, you know, music cannot make money at the start, right? And then they told me, and then I told them like, because in my mind when they asked me, I was like, how are these guys gonna pay me? Like I also need to live, right? Then I was like, I said, but guys, you know I'm not cheap, right? And then they were like, oh, okay. Then I said, They was like, whatever lah. Then I said, I mean, I'm 4,000 a month. Are you okay with that? Right? And then they were like,
okay.
So long story short is I worked with them as a consultant for about 6 months. And I knew at the get-go I told them I'm only going to do 6 months and I'm going to re-evaluate where this business is going, whether is it going to be sustainable or not. So I think within the 3 months I already saw the potential and I already struck the deal with them to have shares in the company and join the company essentially because I saw the growth potential in it and thankfully it worked out. Now we'll be on the street.
I'm not sure.
This is worse than going Genting.
Yeah. I think you have better chances at Genting.
But how have you guys been looking at the music scene now? What are your thoughts on the current music scene?
I think you had to be more specific about where you're leading this question to.
In terms of being collaborative, since you guys collaborate with a lot of artists, right? Do you think that they have that helping hand, or are they quite clueless in terms of where to go, who they can go to for guidance in that sense.
Oof. I think if you're talking about guidance, I think the awareness and the education about music business is severely lacking in Malaysia. So that's why I feel a lot of like indie musicians, it's finding it hard to make this a full-time thing. A lot of them don't know what their revenue streams are. And I mean, okay, so education is one, mindset is another, right? So we have this quite, I don't know, maybe because the industry is so like at its infancy stage, right? So a lot of people have a hobbyist mindset rather than it being an actual business, an actual career. So like they say they want to make it a career, but they treat their career like a hobby. So I think you need to match up in terms of the expectation. Like you can't just say it, you know, you really got to put in the work and really see it as a business. So yeah, I know, like I don't think artists do a SWOT test whenever they try to market position themselves, you know. They'll be asked like, SWOT? You know?
But you gotta explain what's a SWOT test.
Okay, Google it up if you don't know SWOT test, right? Yeah, so but any business, like when you start a new business, you need to know what your strengths and weaknesses are, right? What your opportunity, what the threats are. Yeah, so it's essentially a business lah, you know.
We did that at the start.
Huh?
We did that at the start.
Yeah, we did that at the start. Yeah. So I guess I treated it as a company, you know. So I did what a regular company would do, from the branding to the marketing to the market analysis. And then we did like financial plans, trajectory. I mean, it really helped that all three of us have corporate backgrounds. So I think that is also what binds us together, because we're on the same page on all these things, because we have gone through this in a corporate environment. So we just took that and applied. That also means our discipline also we took from our corporate life and instilled it in this company. So yeah, I think that's really important.
For example, of like how the kind of discipline that you're talking about is like every day 11 o'clock we'll have a meeting about what we need to do, and it's like we will just do, you know, we tell him, okay, you do social media, you gotta do that piano part, I gotta produce, then you gotta talk to people and stuff like that. You know, you know, talk to a lot of kinds of people, you know, make sure, you know, we get the collabs all on point, you know, deals are right, you know, and we'll convene later at 5 o'clock just to talk about what's the status of all that. You know, so that's the kind of discipline that I think every musician needs to have if they want to make it in this industry. It's not that it's impossible, because the Malay market music career is a thing.
It is a thing.
I mean, it's just not that mindset is not brought into the English market because it's so segmented. Like, and a particular example is like Aina. Aina is fully independent. You know, she's in the Malay market and she's doing well. You know, it's her career as a musician now. You know, so I think it's really a mindset thing. It's just lack of exposure as to, like, probably a lot of the artists probably didn't even have MACP. You know. By the way, MACP is a royalty collection body that, you know, that basically tracks your airplays on radios, or if it's getting played in the mall, you're supposed to get paid for that, and they will track it, collect it, and pay you.
Do they really?
They do. They do. Really? But the question is, have you registered your work?
Hey, and if you register, this is like a plug for MACP, but but if like MACP, if you're a member, if you don't write songs for a year, they give you like $500 for like just being a member, because they have an uncollected pool of money which they have to disperse out to all the members anyway. So you just sign, you get paid to be a member.
But I think now there's a new rule that you have to be an active member, not just a passive member.
SoundCloud song call it day lah.
No, a lot of people think it's hard to be like an MACP member, like, because the prerequisite is you have the 5 original works, right? So, but these original works, it can be just uploaded onto SoundCloud and it is deemed as an original work. So what's the barrier of entry? You know, you don't have to spend like 4,000 ringgit to record your stuff. Bedroom record, SoundCloud, done.
As long as it's uploaded online.
As long as it's uploaded.
No, I think it's musicians don't do it. Okay, this is gonna sound very controversial, but more like I think they just want to do art. You know, they don't treat it like a business.
Like, okay, it's fine. Okay, for me, I feel that's fine if you just want to do the art, but don't be delusional into thinking that it's a career. I think that's the pitfall over there, right? It's the delusion of having it as a career, but having that hobbyist mindset. But because doing art is totally fine if you're serving yourself. Right? It's just expectations. You know what I mean?
That's true.
If you're gonna do art, you know, for your own soul, then don't expect to make so much money at the start.
Yeah, correct. Because you're not doing it for an audience, you're doing it for you. You're the audience, right?
But if you look at it from a business point of view, I mean, you're technically marketing yourself as an artist, right?
Yeah.
So you have to look at it.
You're a
from
brand,
business-
you're a
yeah,
product,
yeah,
essentially.
exactly.
Yeah.
So if you don't do all that, cannot survive.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. I'm not saying that it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
No business is easy, right? Yeah, but it all requires nurturing. It requires the time, it requires the effort. The music's no different. Yeah. Just a different game.
Yeah.
Tapping on to what you said about Aina just now. So a lot of artists are actually indie right now, right? Like without any labels.
Yeah.
And also people say that labels are dead lah. So what's your take on that? I know that MFMF has also started like a record label, right?
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Yes, don't play.
Yeah. For fun lah. I need a place to put the songs lah.
Yeah, need a YouTube channel. Labels are dead. I don't think that they're
I
dead.
don't think so.
Yeah, labels have its place in the ecosystem. I don't think it will ever be dead, because there are limitations by when you're doing something indie, unless you're a trust fund baby. Yeah. So to be honest, a label's firepower is really the backing that they have. And the ability for them to just dump 300,000 just like that on your career, right? Like not a lot of people. I mean, certainly I cannot do that, right? But yeah, I think that's the kind of firepower and the connects, right, that they have to market your song not just domestically but internationally, depending on what kind of music you do. So I think they have many years of track record in the industries, and they do have special preferences when it comes to striking deals, either with media platforms or streaming platforms. So I think whether they're dead, no, they're not dead. Whether can you do it indie? Sure, you can, but you all just have to know what the pros and cons is with signing with the label or doing it indie. That's all.
But in the end, when you reach a certain level, you will eventually probably take on a deal from a major label.
Yeah.
Because the money will be huge, the advance we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make business sense because it's like as a business you have multiple vendors, right? So that's the same thing. You can't just in-house everything. Yeah, you can. It's going to be costly to train all your staff. It's going to be also really slow, right? Unless again you can hit hunt and triple each head of department salary, then go for it. But if not, then might as well you just get a vendor to work with you on a one-off project. Yeah, look at it. Lauf was independent for some time, but he also have major labels as international partners. To promote their songs and all that. It's the smart thing to do. Yeah.
Win-win for all.
Yeah, win-win.
Did you answer your question?
Yeah. Okay. There's just a bit of controversy there because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to be indie because like the labels don't really support me in what I do and all that.
I have so much to say about that.
Say it. You can bleep out whatever you don't want.
Say it?
I don't know. It's the way the indie guys do things, though. Like the end.
Yeah, it's really a mindset thing, though. I gotta say.
If you want to make money from it, you got to think in a business way, though.
Yeah.
You cannot say, I just want to do art, but then in the end you expect you to put out things and then people to support you for no reason, without any marketing or anything, and then be bitter about it.
I think to really zone in, if you really want to know what's all about, right? When you are an artist, an indie artist, and you get approached by a label, right? You have to understand. See, go back to my SWOT test again. You need to know where you are in the market, right? What's your leverage? Do they have the leverage or do you have the leverage? Do you even know why they are approaching you? It cannot be a sweet voice alone, right? Maybe it's your social media numbers, Maybe they caught wind that a rival record label already wants to sign you. So they want to cut them out of the deal first by getting to you first. And you got to ask yourself, when they sign you, what do they put on the line? Have they agreed to dump in 150,000 into your first single? Have all this been talked about? Because it's not like I can just sign you right now, right? Like MFMF Records can sign Amanda. So then my cost to sign you is only a 10-cent paper that I photostated, right? And then we sign it, but you have everything to lose because you have now given up your exclusivity and your distribution and all that. It now belongs to me. So I think a lot of indie musicians they don't know about this. Again, education awareness about the whole situation. So depending on the situation, you have to ask yourself, okay, what am I giving up? What are they gaining? Right? So when someone tells me, I mean, I've seen many situations, they say that I get signed to a label, they don't help me. In the end, I might as well just be indie, right? But you went in without a plan. So whose fault is that? You know what I mean? So that's just the unpopular truth opinion that I have about the situation. I always tell people, if a label finds you and you are no one, maybe you have like 500 followers, you have like under 1,000 streams on Spotify, whenever you get signed, they have all the leverage, and essentially you now work for the label.
Yes.
Right? You have to prove yourself that you are profitable to them, because if not, they won't divert resources to you. Because you also have to look at who their lineup is. Right? If they have another artist who's similar to you, who has 10x, 100x of what your stats are, as a business, who would you put money in? Right? Yeah. So that's that. It's just business.
Yeah. If you look at it as a business, it makes perfect sense as to why they don't divert so much resources to an artist, you know, especially at the beginning. I think if you're a young artist, it's best not to sign to a label, because then, you know, you have nothing to negotiate. You know,
you're an employee already lah.
Technically,
I think every time when an indie musician comes to our studio, because we do collabs, right?
Yeah.
We ask them to come over, then we have this chat about the whole thing.
Then the math come out.
No, first we tell them publishing.
Oh,
Are you a member?
Are you a member? Are you getting money from your publishing?
Yeah.
Oh, do you have any masters? You know, do you own anything? What is your deal?
Usually they will say, oh, I have that. But then when you keep
Digging, nothing.
Then they, oh no, actually don't have.
So I think it's really the lack of understanding of the business. And you know, people feel like lost lah. We also feel the same way too.
Okay, when we started, we also were a bit clueless. I had an inkling, but I wasn't like very sure of the whole ecosystem. I mean, up until now, we're still learning about the business. So there's just not a lot of readily available resources out there, and no one gives you a straight answer. You can go to MACP, they will tell you one story. You go to a publisher, they will tell you another story. You go to a record label, they'll tell you another story. Right? So then you gotta sort of like piece the puzzle together and figure out what the truth is. But that's also a big reason why we're still independent. It's because we don't know what the truth is, and we trust ourselves to manage our own things. And it's flexible lah. I get to work with whoever I want.
It's all in the process.
I mean, there's a lot of information out there that people don't know. Like a hit song in the Malay market with winning AJL. You know, you probably get like $1 million of royalties. Minimum about $1 million ringgit of royalties. But you know, nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
That's how big the Malay market is. It sounds like I'm advocating for Malay market.
And MACP.
And MACP.
Oh man, y'all better pay me more this year.
My accounting better be right.
What do you guys think? What else is lacking in the industry?
I think lacks a union, like a proper union.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think our education system can be more in favor of the arts rather than just focusing on the science stream, right? Like, do you know how to do taxes for business? Why isn't that taught in school? Right? It's a life skill, you know. So essentially, your education sets you up to be an employee. Employee very senang only. EA form from employer, EPS also covered. I'm good, Gucci. But if you want to start a business, you want to open a bakery or whatever, you got to learn a lot of things, like how to do your taxes, how to do your accounting, and all that. So I feel the education system can be more in favor for people who want to be entrepreneurs. You know, whether as a freelancer or a business owner or whatever. And then that will then lead to probably a union for the arts, so that all these type of knowledge and resources can be housed in one place, rather than me googling 10 million things to just learn the business. So
when you Google, then something from the States come out, then like
and it's not applicable.
You have to write that whatever you're finding, Malaysia.
Malaysia.
No answer.
And then no results. So it's like, it's quite boring. Then it demotivates you. Like, so I feel that there needs to be all this so that it can serve like an incubator, just like for any startups, you know, to really make the scene flourish. I think we're stuck in this like catch-22 situation, and everyone is just running in this small sandbox, you know. And then over time you get jaded, you get tired, and then things fizzle out. You go back to your day job. End of story.
Also, I feel like everybody's like in their own small bubble, even within the local music scene itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a totally another thing. Like I think that's why a union is important. You know, to negotiate like producer contracts and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
to
and to
just
connect.
talk to each other.
Yeah, and connect.
Can band together lah.
Yeah.
If there's something that you don't like about industry, we can all band together to change it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for example, like producer points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Producer points is basically right now producers don't get any royalties from the master recording, whereas in the States you do as producers. Even as a mix engineer or a sound recording engineer, you get some royalties because these are like revenue streams to support you. Because if you're just gonna rely on just like a one-off payment, like maybe if an artist come and record a studio for 2 hours, you charge them 400 ringgit. How many studio sessions do you need to actually earn a living? You know, you gotta pay the rental for your studio, the aircon, you know, even the coffee that you buy also needs to be paid, right? So that's what the producer points are for, but it's not practiced here, you know, for some reason. But yeah, so these are kind of things that probably a union can put a motion forward and make it a norm. Yeah. A lot of things still needs to.
Yeah, we're still early stages now. Not everyone is just segmented doing their own thing. You know, if we charge this price and somebody try to undercut, that kind of.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
That's a whole different
Oh,
conversation.
but we're never worried about
we're
that.
not concerned
Actually, we're not concerned about someone underpricing us. It's because I feel like I'm an advocate for SWOT tests. It's really because we know where our market position is. So I mean, I'm sure you guys get this a lot too. You know, you put an agency will come to you or a client will come to you and then they'll get a quotation from you for a project, right? And then they say, oh, but I need to do my due diligence. I need to get 3 quotations from similar like people who do three type of quotation, and then they will evaluate the whole thing, right? And then obviously every client is price sensitive lah. Let's just put it this way, right? But for us, it's like if you feel that you can get the same value we give in someone else, and that person is charging cheaper, by all means go with that person. You know, in fact, I would like to have that person's number so that I can hire that person to
do it for me,
right? And that way I don't have to do the job.
That's work for us.
So like, but yeah, you know, but it's because I know that what the quality of work that we do measures up to how much we charge, and there's no one in the market that can give that level of quality. So that's very confident and I'll just tell the client straight up. I said, please, you know, if there's a better quote and a better value out there, please go for it. Yeah, I'm not sentimental, I'm not emotional about the situation.
Let's go into networking from that. They always say networking over skills. What do you think?
No. I think okay, this is the most unpopular opinion. I think if you don't have skills, it's basically third, right? Right. Your networking is basically taking a gold spray can and spraying that third goal, right? Yes, it's a golden third, but it's still third. You know what I mean? Like you can bullshit your way out of it, but essentially your product is shit. Yeah. So that won't get you very far. It can get you maybe a few steps ahead, but then, you know, people will call your bluff.
Yeah. I think it's about timing also lah. You know what I mean? When you have the right skill with the right network, then it will take off. So I think like what you say, like skill is still more important.
Skill important.
But the networking is a complementary product. Just don't get that twisted.
Like it's still very important.
It is.
Yeah, people always think that, you know, oh, if my song is good, people will find it. No.
No. It needs to go hand in hand. Yeah. But that's why it works for us because there's 3 of us. So while few of us can focus on creating the product, like usually the networking part heavily relies on me. So I will go there and create a network, approach clients. You know, Zen will actually reach out to talents on social media and all that. So everything gets mobilized simultaneously. Nothing gets lagged behind, because if not, there will be a bottleneck in our workflow.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean that's why teamwork is important lah. Imagine if I had to do all this myself, die. No way I can do this myself. You know, so
corporate
Yeah. I think I go back corporate already. I think you see me in a suit and tie. But I think this is why you see us moving very fast, is because there's 3 of us. So when it comes to networking, doing the work, you know, there's so many ideas we're bouncing off each other. So it feels very seamless lah, and we can always churn out product month after month.
Yeah, legit. I see you guys churn out so often. It's super good, but I'm like, oh my god, it's new content.
Yeah. I mean, also we don't sleep a lot, and there's a lot of caffeine.
Yeah. I think if you cut my wrist, that'd be
A drip bag.
yeah. It'll be cold brew.
That's why we're wearing shades.
Yeah.
Because you're the youngest.
Yeah, you're the youngest.
Have you guys worked with KOLs or celebrities who are not in the music scene but just want to tap into it just because they think that they have the number of followers to do that or the influence that they think that they can also tap into the music?
That is actually a void in the market that a lot of people are not exploring, and we are confidently exploiting. Yeah, because again, I see it as a business essentially. If there's a void in the market, it would be silly not to fill it lah. When everybody's going, I always say everybody's going right lane, just go left lane. Like I don't like to crowd around. I rather have the flexibility of this uncharted territory. Of course, it's risky, but then I just gotta manage the risk and go forward. We've worked with beauty influencers that needs a song to put her stature above or her profile above the other beauty influencers. Right. So that elevates someone, and I think that's so brilliant as a marketing plan because she's a visionary for me. And we did like this banging K-pop song, and then immediately boom, she gets taken seriously. Yeah. So yeah, we have worked with it. I think it's a smart.
I mean, no need to say, even Harith, right? He's technically just a YouTuber lah.
Yeah.
He's not a musician, but we put him there lah.
Yeah, we made him a singer, and now he is branded as a singer. So yeah, it will change one's life, and I guess it gives you more opportunities in life. And I don't see anything wrong with that lah.
Yeah. Just see if the opportunity arises, you try. If it works, it works.
Never try, never know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I think there's no ego for us about that. Like, you're not a real musician, no lah.
Yeah, there's no stigma for us. For us, it's like, if that makes you happy and if that's what you want to do, who am I to deny you? And if I can help bring that joy or happiness to you, why not? And make some money at the same time.
Wow, of course.
Priorities.
Yeah, man. Music industry, man, about making money.
It's a music business. It's not music.
Yeah.
How do you determine if the gig is worth your while or not?
We've already calculated our overheads. Why is it so businessy? We've already calculated our overheads and projection of how much all our staff is going to be paid and all that, and then you see. So I guess I don't know whether correct me if I'm wrong. You're asking me about whether, because we okay, scale back.
Reset.
I will never let a client determine how much I'm worth. Never. First 5 minutes in, I will lay down the price already, right? Because I know my value. You don't, right? So I will tell that, and if it's a mismatch, for me it's there's no point continuing conversation because we are already in different worlds. Right? So I will politely say that I think it's not the right time that we work together. Maybe in future, if you have a bigger budget or whatever, then we can get together again and discuss. So in that sense, I've already qualified my clients before even getting to the next step. So I already know that if the client says that that is in my ballpark, then I know it's worth my time. But that's not to say that we don't do projects that are underpriced. We do, but it has to serve a different purpose for us. How I see it is, there are many types of currency in this world, right? Money is just one of them. For me, happiness is another. The art or the fulfillment is another. So if it's a project that we really enjoy and we really vibe with, and maybe we see a marketing potential in that to bring our name up, and if the client doesn't have the full budget, we will be okay to take that up. So it has to sort of balance it out. We won't just take a lower price project that doesn't serve any other needs.
It could be even marketing, points that we need, So I think
brand association, marketing points. Yeah, sure.
So those are the kind of values we trade lah. Then I think it all works out in the end. Everyone's happy. Everyone hold up in the end of the bargain, and we're good.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Because you guys said that you started out everything mostly during COVID situation.
Yeah.
What's pre-COVID?
Pre-COVID, we were at the very early stages of MFMF. I think it was this period where we were discovering where our foothold should be, where in the market we should be. So we started out focusing on purely English music. Our target was to get our music abroad to the States, to the UK and all that. So we knew we were nobodies. We weren't kidding. We weren't kidding ourselves about it, . So we knew that the fastest way to grow our artist career was to just collaborate with people who already have a footing in the industry. So we made it a point to never release any songs without a collab. Yeah, and we set a goal: 1 month, 1 song. Yeah, hook or by crook. Right? We need to give that output, because if not, our thing will be stagnated and it will go nowhere . So so we would just collaborate. Thankfully, we had friends like Bill, Diane, Trisha, who were Alex, who were willing to work with us. So I think that really built the the momentum of MFMF. And then after those projects get out, more opportunities came in because word got out, and people like the production that we did.
I mean, we initially started out trying to sell songs. So then after that, then he was saying that, instead of trying to pitch your demos out every day, why don't you just release them? I mean, then so we think about MFMF as the artist is to just to actually funnel jobs to the
showreel.
Exactly.
Growing the brand, no?
Growing the brand. Then when people hear our songs as an artist, then they kind of gauge what kind of what's the quality that we have. And then they can know that, okay, this is the kind of sound I'm expecting. Then you'll sound better.
Just let the work speak for itself.
But one more important key factor is we made sure our social media was popping. Right? Because we know a lot of producers out there, composers, writers and all that, but nobody knows who they are. So that creates this lack of warmth when again, you want someone to, when they come to you, they already know what you're about, that are you like these two cool kids for school, are you these like jokers, who are just like your neighbor next door, that you can just have a conversation with. So I think that was very important in our social media. We also played a lot of importance in the aesthetics of it. We made sure we had a iconic purple room. We bought the purple lights, fairy lights. It was then cheap, like 30 ringgit only. But because of that, the artists that came to the studio were more inclined to do their Insta stories. And we were very mindful about that. We need a place that people want to Insta stories and not this place so buruk.
So welcome
And then when people see it, they're like, hey, why are all these artists going to this purple room? What the hell is this purple room?
I want to go there.
So we built a little bit of mystery and all that, create a nice narrative, a story arc to the whole thing. And that complemented with the work, the production that we did. And that was our artist growth hack.
And every time when somebody comes in, this is the purple room. I always
I'm here. No, because when you enter the MFMF house, right, it looks like a typical Chinese house. Got tanglong this. You will never expect that it's a studio, right? So when people come, then they'll be like, "Am I in the right place? Did I just get catfish here?" Until they open the door to the room, like,
this is what I know. Okay, I'm safe. I can tell my mom.
I'm all good.
I'm not gonna die in here.
So that was pre-COVID for us, we did that all the way until COVID happened, and then and then the rest, already .